might have to turn the radio off.
Why?
Why?
So we'd like to welcome you to our new season 2 of our very fine podcast.
Welcome, welcome.
The original podcast was just something we came up with, and now we're waiting on news for our season 4 of the TV series.
But the podcast has really taken off, hasn't it? People like listening to it. We like doing it, and we want to keep doing it. This time we're looking at cars we might buy, but we might also look over cars that we can't buy because they're not for sale, and that's okay. We're lending an assessment or an opinion.
So if you're listening and you've got an interesting car, you probably know what we like, then get in touch.
We're also recording many of these episodes on video. Not quite a television show, but see what you think.
Shh, Gus, the podcast is starting.
Oh, is it now? Thank you for staying with us. I hope you like the cars we found. We've got another podcast to do, haven't we?
Yes, today is a bright, sunny day, and
Beautiful.
we are somewhere near Bracknell.
Yes, and it's your turn, isn't it?
It is, and I'm very, very excited because I have got a treat for us.
Is it in this shed here? So
It
we're
is.
standing outside a shed.
It's a wooden shed with a felt roof on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a very nice little shed. And within this door here,
Well, don't tell me what it is.
I haven't got it covered.
Okay.
But you might not get it straight away.
We seem to have got rid of the covering thing for a bit, haven't we?
Well,
the
I
last
forgot-
few haven't been covered, have
Yeah,
they?
I forgot to bring it.
Well, I didn't bring it last time either.
Yeah,
Come on, then, let's
okay.
go.
Ta-da!
Well-
Isn't that a little beauty?
Well, that really is beautiful.
I've just opened the door for Gus.
Can I just try and describe the smell? We've walked into this wooden garage, and the smell is of leather and petrol. It's a very, very, very a very lovely smell, and it's evocative of many things. So, but the sitting in here is a rather sweet, quite battered actually.
1953, this one.
1953
Two-seater.
MG TD.
D.
TD, yeah, it's TD.
It's a TD.
The only reason I said TD is because it's got steel disc rims on it.
That was a new thing.
It was a standard thing on TDs, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was the first car to have the MGs just trying out pressed steel wheels for the first time on their sports cars.
It's in what I would call a British racing green. A lot of patina on it. It's got lots of overspray and bits sprayed in. It looks great. It's right up our street, isn't it?
It really is, because it's slightly tatty looking.
It is slightly tatty
But
looking,
it's-
a bit like us.
Quite complete looking.
Yeah.
Not quite so much like us, but it's showing signs of age and wear and tear in the way that we do.
When I walked into the garage, the first thing you see is the rear three-quarter with the disc wheel on the back by the petrol tank.
Exposed petrol tank.
Exposed petrol tank.
It's bolted onto the back of the car with a great big steel frame.
Well,
that
I suppose
goes-
the steel frame is to protect it from rear shunting, really, is it?
Well, I mean, but then doubled up as a spare wheel carrier as well.
Yeah, spare wheels strapped on the back.
It is pretty vulnerable. Where do most crashes occur on cars?
On the road?
The front.
Yeah, on the back or the
On
front.
the front or the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally when one goes into the back of another.
Yeah.
So having a huge fuel tank on the back of you, because this is a huge fuel tank.
Yeah.
With a petrol cap that probably doesn't fit very well. So
Yeah.
when you compress it, you're going to get a jet of petrol going up into the air.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
Raining down on everybody who's probably sat in the car.
Yeah, well,
back in the
there's
day.
something to think about, all you classic car owners.
Yeah, let's not get into the safety aspect.
So this is 1953, is it?
It is.
And
Yep.
it was 53. I think 53 was probably around the first year of TD, was it? Because
I think it would have been, yeah.
in my limited knowledge of MGs, these went TDs, then TF, and then in 1955, I think, was MGA, which was a
Right.
whole different ball game, wasn't it?
It
so
was,
these
well-
were these were midgets. These were called midgets, weren't they?
They were called midgets.
Yeah.
There was, so that development over that short span of years saw a lot of differences. So your MGA was a completely different car.
Yes.
Moulded body.
Yeah.
Now the D, was the last of what I would call bonnet, wing with headlights all as separate components.
Yeah.
Because the MGF that followed had the headlights moulded into the wings.
Yes, they were, weren't they?
So this was the last throes of the individual component type arrangement of the front end.
With cycle wings and lights.
So I'm stood at the front of the car now, looking at the front grille.
It's a proper grille, isn't it?
It's proper chrome surround.
Yeah.
You know, rad cap, which on this car should actually be the radiator cap.
Yep.
Because it was on the F afterwards where the cap, which was then became false.
Did it?
Yeah, it was just there for looks.
That's interesting. So it wasn't the radiator after all?
No. But on this car, that chrome surround still holds the radiator cap in it, and it's a functional radiator cap.
Yeah.
It's the last time on the
so the matrix is so the chrome is the outside of the matrix, basically.
That's still a cover.
Yeah.
With a brass radiator behind
Inside,
it, but they are bolted together as one.
This series, the midget series, started just after the war? No, during the war, 30s.
Yeah, I mean, it was the sort of car that your military personnel of rank would have bought.
Yes, you see them on sort of RAF stations in films, don't you?
You do. Yeah. It's exactly that sort of car. So it was a sports car that was, had value to it. It was affordable.
Yeah.
But, an officer would be proud to be driving around in this.
But they were a genuine sports car, weren't they, of the time? I'm not sure whether by the time we got to TD they still were a genuine sports car. I suspect.
Well, I suppose.
But I suppose maybe they were. They were certainly raced, weren't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this would be still considered a proper little sports car, even though it's becoming more refined.
Can we just point out it's got no roof on it? We haven't really described it very well, have we? So it doesn't have a roof on it, and I suspect it probably does have a roof. It must have a roof mechanism, mustn't it? Because it's got these little pillars at the front of the screen here. So it has got a roof mechanism, but it's not on it.
I think you would be able to fit a little canvas pop-up roof that had some simple hoops that would slot into this rear body. So I'm behind the seats at the moment, looking down onto the rear tub behind the seats.
Yeah.
And in the top of this raised edge, the wall, there's a little slot. So
there is. There's one this side as well.
You put a little hoop in there.
I would have said so. And then it stretches forward to on the top of the screen, there's a little pole on the top of this rather sweet little fold-down chrome.
Shall we fold the windscreen?
No, let's not. Let's not fold it down, because I can't help but think that's tempting fate.
Yes, this is not our car.
It's not our car.
It is for sale.
It is for sale, yes.
But the rest of the car, so it's an open-top sports car with a lovely shaped dashboard. You know how children draw seagulls in the sky above the beach?
What it is.
And it's this lovely little double curve. It's that shape.
Yeah.
The main cluster of clocks is in front of the steering wheel.
And they've got a beautiful sort of silver with a slight greening to them, haven't they? The background.
And that's just lovely, isn't it? Because that's not something which became the sort of standard or anything across the board. It's something MG seemed to have done then. Are they Jaguar clocks? I haven't got my glasses on. Can you see what it says on them?
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? Jaeger or Jaeger?
Yeah, I don't know. I always say Jaguar. But then, I'm really dyslexic. It's a pretty clock, isn't it?
It is pretty. So, am I right in thinking before this they used to have a plywood dash with the dials the same shape as the MG logo? Is that a thing that they had before, or was it after?
I don't know.
I think it was a thing that they did. But I like this. So this is a cloth-covered dash. It would be an aluminium dash.
Yeah, it's like a sort of...
Cloth-covered.
It is like cloth, isn't it? I don't know.
And then there's a centre section which has got amp meter and oil pressure and water temperature.
On its own metal panel with a chrome surround. Oh, and look at this.
Oh, it's got a power out.
Yeah. So in this period, it would have been... So in the bottom of the sensor cluster, there's a 12-volt supply comes out of the dash panel where you can plug utility items in there. But something which would have been, I think, probably a legal requirement is parking lights.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, and you used to plug them in there and take them out and put them on the car.
And you'd hang them on the top of the window and wind the window up, or
Yes.
on this case, just wedge them onto the car somewhere.
That was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, you think about the P Supers
Yes.
in London.
Yeah, yes.
That's the 19,
really good point.
30s, 40s, 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Until the Clean Air Act. You wouldn't
Yeah,
be
I'd
able to
completely
see...
forgotten about that. That was a thing, wasn't it? So there's no cigarette lighter in here, but this is the power outtake of the time. Same as it is in a Land Rover, in a Series 3 Land Rover.
It's exactly the same, yeah, because that goes back.
The two poles.
And for those people who don't know, the P Super was the smog, the pollution in London over those periods, which sometimes would become so thick and so dangerous, you could literally walk out in front of a bus and meet your maker because you couldn't see the bus coming, even though it was 10 foot away. So parking lights, I think, were not just about P Supers, but good parking practice. So your car could be seen, because reflectors kind of... This car does have reflectors.
It does have reflectors
but,
on the rear wings.
But being seen on the road was important even when being parked.
This has indicators as well, which is interesting.
I can tell you something about those.
What about the indicators?
Well, I think those were added. Because I know...
So this wasn't standard on this car, you're saying?
Originally, no, it wouldn't have had indicators.
That's interesting, because the way that they're fitted on, they're at very strange angles, aren't they?
Well, they have literally been, I've got 4 indicators, where do I put them?
Well, exactly.
2 at the front, 2 at the back.
But the wings are so curved that the indicators have been put on the curved surface, so they're pointing in strange directions, which rather irks my eye.
Yeah, I know.
Especially the back ones.
They do look a bit boss-eyed, don't they?
They do.
So I think there's a bit of history with this car, which I'm going to tell you now. For this wonderful little 2-seater sports car with a brown leather interior and a green cloth dash. And British racing green or Brunswick green would have been pretty popular at the time.
Yeah.
It's a proper sort of 1950s colour, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
But this one's been on its holidays.
Has it? Where's it been?
It was exported to America.
Oh, okay.
And we don't know exactly when. The owner doesn't know exactly when it was exported, but he does know it was out there in 1977.
Oh.
And then was re-imported in the early 2000s.
Well, it's interesting that, isn't it? Because I know for a fact that these cars did really well in America. In actual fact, they made MG, didn't they? Selling these midgets, this series of cars, not just TDs, but the series of cars in the States. A lot of them went out there. But I wonder why this one... So this one's a right-hand drive car and it still went out to the States. Interesting.
Well, it was a second-hand car when it went.
Yeah.
So it wasn't built for the
American market.
The American market,
No.
Post-Second World War, lots of American military types come over here. And those with a bit of money would buy a car like this and end up falling in love with it and taking it home.
Classic British sports car, yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I'm looking at this thinking, oh, how lovely. It's all on, you can see the top of the gearbox when you look down through the cabin. The handbrake is not covered, and it's on the tunnel of the prop shaft. And I'm thinking, I'd really love to have this car and drive this car. But what you don't appreciate at the same time is how little time you'd be able to spend driving this car in this country.
Well,
but it's true, though, isn't it?
3 degrees today.
Today's fine. The sun's shining. But what I mean is all the other days when the sun isn't shining. Could I just point out that it doesn't have a windscreen wiper on it? Although I think that's the mounting for one there.
I
for
think
a gearbox,
this is where it did have 2 windscreen wiper motors.
Yeah.
And neither of which are still here. So on this beautiful fold-down, chrome-edged windscreen...
It'll be brass, won't it?
Very small, probably brass with a chrome finish.
Yeah.
Which is quite small as well.
Yeah. Well, I suspect if you were 6 foot tall, your head would probably stick above that, wouldn't it?
I think it probably would, yeah. Well, there were two mounts on there for what looked like your old-fashioned Lucas windscreen wiper motors.
But would they have been motors or would they have been hand-operated? Because there was also a hand-operated version, wasn't there?
So on your standard Lucas, you had that bit you pull out and you can turn it.
Yeah.
And I think by the 1950s, it probably would have been.
Got to be.
But then
it'd be the same as what's on the early Land Rovers, won't it? It'll be the one that you can...
Big chunky motor.
Yeah.
But now just think about it. Actually, wouldn't that be the ugliest thing ever? Top of this quite delicate small windscreen, to have two ginormous Land Rover-style wiper motors.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't think of anything worse.
No.
Okay, so you have a bit of a crash.
Quite restrictive
Your
as well.
petrol tank explodes, skirts a geezer of petrol up into the air as you're still going forwards and headbutting a Lucas wiper motor. So embossed on your forehead now, you've got the two levers and the word Lucas before you catch fire.
Yeah, it's becoming less appealing, isn't it? But they're not on here, and it looks great without them, but like I said, and to be honest with you, are you really going to be taking this out in the rain? I'd say you wouldn't, but quite often in this country you get caught out in the rain, don't you?
You
As
do.
we all know.
Well, I think that's the greatness about this windscreen folding down. Because if you do get caught in the rain,
fold it down, put some goggles on.
Your eyeballs have got their own wipers, haven't they? So you can rely on Mother Nature to protect you when your mechanical stuff goes wrong.
Yeah, but they're not going to protect you against stones, are they? And that's
or bumblebees,
or
hornets.
Yeah, you'd need a pair of goggles, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would.
Very, very racy, wouldn't it?
Wipe again, yeah. Yes, that's basic. This is basic motoring.
Very basic motoring.
Yeah, but it's basic motoring. With style. I'm stood at the front of the car on the passenger side, offside front corner. We've got a great big chrome surround on the radiator.
Yeah.
A long bonnet in 4 pieces, so it does that butterfly thing when it opens, with the 2 flappy down side bits, with louvered vents in, independent headlights at the front with 7-inch Lucas sealed, probably sealed beams. Well, these ones are sealed beams.
Yeah,
but
they are. Probably wouldn't have been, but they are, aren't
that one's actually still bulb on that side.
Is it?
Yeah, this one's got sealed beam in this side. So long flowing wings with running boards and rear arches.
And a chrome bumper, which works. But it's if you think this is 53.
53.
But this is proper 1930s.
Yeah,
styling,
it's that look,
isn't it?
It's that look.
Proper 1930s.
It really is. If you squint a little bit and just hark back to the 1930s, it's
you're there. This is the end of a line, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's the end of that sort of like, this is what sports cars look like.
Yes.
And they all looked a lot like this.
They did, yeah, they did.
Which is funny you say that, because we sort of bemoan the fact that a lot of modern cars all look the same as each other.
Yeah, generic, yeah. But in actual fact,
we've got a 20-year period here where they all looked a lot like this.
Yeah, they really did.
And saloon cars looked a lot like this, but with a roof and a taller windscreen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It is interesting when you look at popular design. I mean, this is what people came to expect to be a sports car.
Yeah.
But if you had something like this, and there's lots of kit cars, for example, that ape this sort of thing, isn't it?
Oh.
There are, though, aren't there? Lots. And that you can. I mean, they were very popular in the sort of 80s and 90s. But you could buy something like this now, couldn't you? It's affordable, isn't it? Mm-hmm. If you had a garage, you've got to have a garage to keep it in. It's got to be kept dry, hasn't it?
And you've got to have the time to invest in it to keep it running.
Because they have a routine of maintenance. The older the car, the more that they expect of you. Yeah. Is the truth, isn't it?
I would say with a car of this nature, you would be wanting, if you used it relatively frequently but infrequently, so like once a week or twice a month, you would want to be checking the fluids, certainly the engine oil and the coolant, every single time.
Every time you went out in it, definitely.
Go out, yes.
But there's that whole thing, isn't there? And I see it round my way, where you have someone who has their classic car, their love, and they keep it in the garage to go out on holidays and high days, and the one day of the year when they get to go out, it won't start because...
of course. But I think you've got to expect that. So, you check your fluids every time you take it out, and don't be surprised or disappointed when there's no brake fluid in there.
No.
Because if it's still got its original leather seals in the cylinders...
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Or some basic rubber seal...
Yeah.
There's a fair chance it's going to have leaked out somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, all over the shoes.
Yes. Yeah, normally, yeah. But it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to behold. I wanted to talk about this rear wheel arch, because it's a cycle wing, really, isn't it? And it's like the back mudguard of a motorcycle with a ridge down the middle. And it's got the light in the middle, which is rather beautiful. And then, again, somebody has put a an indicator on the inside angle. So again, they're pointing at the wrong angle, which is irking my eye somewhat.
I can tell that's upsetting you. It does look like somebody's. That's all that would have been available.
This is affordable now, isn't it? And it's not. It will keep up with traffic. You could still use this, couldn't you?
Yeah.
As a holidays and high days car. And I like that about it. It's modern enough to be able to do that with.
There's something that makes it look a lot more modern than the car actually is, and I think it's those wheels, the pressed steel wheels.
Yes, I think you're probably right.
They really sort of give it a modern look.
They do.
I know they look brutally classic as well because the car is so old, but it's the changeover between wire wheels and steel.
And I think that it looks slightly out of place. And I've always thought that with TDs, they look slightly out of place because if that had wire wheels and spinners, it would sort of look more...
It would look more historic.
It would look more historic, and it would sort of look more... It's like a modernisation. They've obviously modernised it, but they haven't gone the whole hog, have they?
It's kind of like, almost like somebody's gone, OK, I did have a car with wire wheels, but I've decided to modernise this and customise it and put steel wheels on there.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
At the factory.
Yeah. And this is, just to add to this at the moment, for those of you that can't see it, it doesn't have any hubcaps covering the centre of the wheels. So.
No, which of course it would have. It would have had these lovely chrome... So the back, the spare wheel on the back has got the MG logo in the middle of the chrome hubcap.
Yeah, and that's quite a nice, simple hubcap.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to what you'd see on most things of that sort of era.
Those wheels with the hubcaps on them, if you think back to the original Lotus 7, they had... Similar, they had the steel wheel with a hubcap on it. It was a thing, wasn't it? A disc steel wheel is a useful device, isn't it? Because they are much easier to clean, but they're strong as well. They're strong and they're flexible. They have all the stuff going for them that you would want in a wheel.
Durability is good as well, because when you curb them, they don't tend to bend so easily.
And if they do, you can knock them out to a certain extent.
To an extent, yeah. I kind of like it without the hubcaps.
Yeah, no, it looks purposeful, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it as well.
The shape of the car I find very appealing. I love the way that these doors, when you're sat in the car, the tops of the doors sort of slope down towards the rear corner where your elbow would sit.
Yes.
And then it rises back up again for this rear tub.
And opens from the front. It's worth noting that, isn't it? The doors open from...
Suicide doors.
Well, suicide doors, yeah. Beautiful brass hinges on them. Absolutely beautiful, big old...
Like swept Parliament hinges.
Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they?
You wouldn't find that on... Well, I was going to say you wouldn't find that on a modern car, but of course you wouldn't. But, I mean, that's a chunk of brass.
Yeah.
I mean, if you took that lot off and weighed them, there's best part of a kilo of brass in those hinges.
Yeah. Yes, it's a quality item, isn't it? And it would have been at the time, wouldn't it?
Ash frame in these doors.
Are they ash framed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, yes, and so the rear tub is on an ash frame. That's interesting, isn't it? We're going to get to that. Let's have a break before we get to that, shall we?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, we're going to have a break. This is a commercial break.
Yes, so if you have...
Loosely speaking.
Yeah, there you go. It's tea and biscuits break for us. But if you'd like to advertise on our podcast, this is your opportunity.
Yeah, get in touch.
Please.
And we're back in the game.
With our 1953...
British Racing... Oh, go on.
MG...
TD. Yeah. I don't know if it is British Racing Green or it's Brunswick Green. It's one of the two, isn't it? I'm confused about the difference between the two now, in actual fact.
Well, here's the thing. There are many, many shades of British Racing Green.
Yes.
Jaguar had their own range.
Yeah, did they?
Yeah, they did. So it's difficult to say. If general sort of thing, to me, that feels and looks like Brunswick Green.
Yeah, it does to me as well. I always think of Brunswick Green as being a Land Rover colour. But it's that green, isn't it?
It's like a bronzy, a lighter version of bronze green.
Yeah.
And you could easily confuse it as a bronze green.
For all those other green paints out there which are available. We're
trying not to offend all the other colours and shades of green that are available.
I want to have a look at the. I want to have a look at the engine. So shall we open the louvre doors?
Okay. I think one side at a time is best with these.
Yeah, I think that otherwise it won't have anything to lean on. So we have a central spine, which I assume is the hinge
There'll be a
down the middle of the bonnet, and we have
pivots on the radiator cowl at the front and the firewall at the back. Right, one handle each, or shall? Oh no, I've got.
Well, I've got the camera. So
Yeah,
you've
got the camera.
Do it, really.
I'll do the. So something I have noticed with these bonnet catchers, where you've got the two handles at the bottom, which then have got to link in with something else. They never seem to properly link in. So
no, so they
mainly gravity that keeps these bonnets closed.
Yeah, they just go in, and they're supposed to turn and lock, aren't they? But in actual fact, they don't really turn.
Shall I give you my first impression on that? Apart from the fact it's a funny colour.
Yeah, go on then.
There seems to be a lot going on under that bonnet. That's quite a busy area.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and thinking it looks quite racy with the aluminium air intake. I mean, that's great, isn't it?
Somebody's polished that, haven't they?
Yeah, and you've got a tin air filter, circular on the top, and then that sits on this amazing cast aluminium with MG cast in it, sort of induction, which goes into the carburetors, twin SUs. So it comes down, it's T-shaped, comes down, and then it drifts downwards into the carburetors, which are mounted, tilted at an angle down into the manifold. And it's pretty. It looks very old-fashioned, but it's pretty, isn't it?
It actually does look really pretty.
Yeah.
I think in that T-shape, there's not a terrible amount of sort of gas flowing.
No.
That doesn't matter, it looks great.
Yeah, exactly. It does.
Probably wasn't originally polished, but there seems to be a bit of... Somebody's been in there with the polish, because the rocker box is steel and has been chromed.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't have been, I wouldn't imagine. But yeah, I always think of the Antiques Roadshow. So the MG logo on this aluminium casting is quite worn, isn't it? And I can imagine some experts saying, well, of course, if you hadn't have polished it,
it'd be worth a lot more, yes. yeah. Arts and crafts, it should have been left a bit fuzzy looking.
Yeah.
But here's another thing, which was probably never, ever chromed in the first place.
Yeah.
The lower connection from the radiator to the inlet on the water pump has got a T-piece in this as well, but that's been chromed and polished at some point.
Do you think this chroming and polishing might possibly have occurred when it was in the States? They do like a bit of chrome.
They'd love a bit of chrome.
And the thing is about chrome out there, it doesn't tend to rust quite as much as it does here, does it?
Let's say, for argument's sake, that was an American edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shiny thing.
Yeah. So it's got, I mean, the block is red, the head is red, and then it's got a chrome cover on a rocker cover on it.
The firewall has been heavily painted in what looks like hand-painted enamel that probably hasn't been put on with a brush, might have been put on with a stick. It's quite rough looking. But look at this.
Oh, it's got a little toolbox.
A little toolbox in there.
Oh, so underneath. Oh my goodness! So underneath the bonnet, there is right up against the firewall. There's a couple of toolboxes.
There's real telltale signs in here. I've just opened it up and rolled up in what feels like a tea towel.
Yes.
Look.
A couple of spanners.
Cranked spanner. Twin ring spanner. It's a 7/16 British Standard 3/8 Whitworth.
Yeah.
And we have a 9/16 and 5/8 AF open-ended. And the piece de resistance for maintenance of a car of this type.
Interesting.
The obligatory.
Oh yeah, and a bit of wet and dry.
Piece of folded wet and dry to get in and clean the points.
Points, exactly that.
It's all in there.
It's interesting. So those two spanners will fit something specific on this car, won't they? I'm just going round now and having a look at the
sizes. It's not quite spark plug size, is it?
No, it's not, is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting. But yeah, so that firewall has been painted and painted and painted, hasn't it? But it's sound, isn't it? It's not. I mean, it's not as if it's rotten or anything.
No, this car doesn't seem to have any rust in it. There's no telltale signs of rust in the body shell, though all of the panels are. Okay, let's say we're both on the driver's side at the moment, looking at the rear fender wing, depending on what part of its life we're talking about.
Yeah.
If it was in America, it'd still be a fender.
Exactly, yeah.
We like to refer to it as a wing. Well, it's not straight, but it's kind
got a kink in it, isn't it?
The right shape it should be.
Yeah.
that seems to be rust-free, and I'm just feeling around on the wired rolled edge.
Yeah.
On them, that's all clean and feels nice around the edges.
Yeah, well, that's where it would rot, I would imagine. Although there's so much wind gets under a cycle wing, isn't there, or clamshell, whatever you'd like to call it. They're not going to stay wet for long, are they?
No, but I'm just feeling this. I'm running my fingers along the front wing, just under the edge, now above the wheel. It's completely smooth on the inside. There's, you know, it may well have been cleaned up, and I see it's pretty freshly painted under there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look to me like it's been a rotter.
No, no, I don't think it has it?
It looks like it's been gently battered most of its life.
That's a really good way of explaining. It does look like it's been gently battered, but someone's been maintaining it, haven't they?
Yes.
You know? And it's got the braided stainless steel fuel line going into the carb. So somebody's done all that, haven't they? Because that'll be something you can buy as an aftermarket thing, won't it? It certainly wouldn't have had it.
This looks like a new wiring loom.
Yeah, new wiring loom with the proper cotton braiding around it, which looks beautiful. Yeah,
it looks nice in the red with the black tracer on it.
Yeah, somebody's spent some time, I suspect.
I think for those that are listening, like, this car is in solid sound condition.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just got a tremendous amount of patina.
So are we playing the game with this car? Is this car for sale?
It is for sale.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to tell you straight away.
What?
How much is being asked for it?
Well,
do you want to guess? What would you say it would be like worth like that? Let's play the guessing
okay, well,
game.
let me think. I'm just thinking what I think. This is very Antiques Roadshow, isn't it? What I think... I think...
Bigger, better.
Yeah, but I think... So one of these, I would say, top money would be 20,000. Would it?
I think they've come down a little bit in the last few years.
Okay.
In fact,
I was just going by MGA, but yeah, okay, so yeah.
I think they've come down disappointingly from that. Really good one of these, Minter, would have been about 2022.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
So what are they now then? What would you think they are now?
Very disappointing, sort of 16, 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because that means this car is completely solid. We haven't had a look underneath yet, have we?
No.
But just for
I've got a bit of an inkling that it's going to be as good as it is up here. I can see.
I would have thought it's been maintained, hasn't it?
I can see it's been well maintained. There's a lot of new parts.
Oh,
it's
okay.
It looks like a proper sort of capable enthusiast car.
Yeah. Well, it's got a new petrol pump on it.
Yes.
Hasn't it?
And it's a genuine SU pump as well.
Yeah.
And it's got all the correct fittings, nice bits and pieces.
SU are a company again now, aren't they? That you can buy absolutely everything from them, can't you?
Yes. So this pump here is
a
electronic facet pump.
Yeah.
I bet you that's a solid state one without
points
in it. I bet you. I'll bet you $1 to a donut. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Even though they look identical.
They look identical. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be mad, wouldn't you?
Well, you would. Yeah, because the points ones, well, they can be a bit tricksy. Let's say
they can be a bit tricksy, can't they?
So,
so hang on. So we were talking about price of this. I know we're probably a bit previous, but I just wanted to know if we were playing that game because, in actual fact, with this car in particular, there's a lot you could do to it. That's what I'm thinking. If we had it on the television show, there's a lot that we could do to this car.
Yeah,
because the obvious thing is...
Yeah, well, the obvious thing is it needs a lot because the bodywork is tatty.
Yeah.
But sound, but tatty.
Yeah. I mean, I know that neither you or I, if we were owning this car, would probably do anything to the bodywork because it looks great.
I mean, this is a presentable car.
Yeah.
If you like that worn look, I would even go back a stage because I see the wheel hubs, the brake drums have been painted red.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I would have to get over those with a bit of black aerosol.
I think I would have to go black on those as well.
Take that red away, just to take a little bit of its individuality away from it.
Dare I say that I suspect that might have been done in the States as well, with the red engine block.
where it looks like the same colour red.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
before we go judging it any further,
Yeah.
we haven't sat in the car yet, have we, Gus?
No, we haven't.
Would you like to take the driver's seat?
Well, I mean, it's only fair that I do, really. So
Yeah.
I'm opening the suicide doors. They open at the front. They're higher at the front than they are at the back.
It doesn't take much to open them.
Which aids access.
And
Flat floor.
I'm just waiting for Gus to notice the way in which the gearbox tunnel is being held into the car. Can you see that?
No, I can't. What?
The gearbox tunnel obviously falls off.
Oh, it's being held in with a great
Unless it's got
28-pound weight on it.
28-pound iron weight holding it down. So I don't know what the purpose of that is. I'm pretty certain you'd want to remove that from the gearbox tunnel before you drove anywhere.
Yeah.
Because it's got quadrant pedals rather than pendant pedals.
Yeah, so they're hinged from the bottom rather than the top.
That weighs 28 pounds.
But it absolutely says that. It's an interesting seating position because it's got a flat floor. That's the first thing you notice when you get in it. But in actual fact, I'm below the line of the screen, which is great, so I'm going to get protected.
Oh, that's interesting, because I'm not quite in the car yet. I'm just trying to get that huge chunk of iron back on top of the...
But I like a big steering wheel, and it's got a big steering wheel with the chrome sort of, or aluminium maybe, spaghetti.
Is that a wooden edge as well?
Yeah, with a wooden edge, which is a little bit beaten up, isn't it? I mean,
a bit tired,
I doubt if it's wooden, actually, is it? It's been cast plastic.
It looks like it's been...
Yeah, it's cast plastic.
Painted.
Yeah.
That's not wooden. It was no.
It's not, but it's
it's a weird wood effect. It looks like, I tell you what that looks like to me.
Like that.
It looks like somebody who owns a canal boat has decided that it needs a bit of scumbling on the rim of the steering wheel.
Scumbling?
Scumbling, yeah, that's what you call wood effect.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
You know, on your canal boat rear doors,
yeah,
there's always the roses and castles, and
yeah.
the wooden fake wood, sort of painted wood.
Okay.
It's called scumbling.
Well, who knew? But
I know that because I lived on canal boats for years.
But it's quite crammed in here, isn't it?
It is.
If we close the doors, we would be quite snug.
Well, yeah.
Let's have a go.
I have noticed another feature, safety feature. Oh, okay. I like this.
Yeah, I like it as well. And everything falls to hand. It's got a tiny little gear lever.
It's a good job we're friends, isn't it?
It is. We are quite
a narrow
close.
Cockpit, this one.
I can imagine if there's... And with a very large steering wheel, so I can imagine if there's some exuberant cornering going on, there's going to be quite a lot of elbow work.
Yeah, we've got to help each other. Yeah. Get out of my way! I can't.
But it's interesting that those clocks aren't central. So the speedo and the rev counter, in actual fact, which is supposed to be, I suppose, in front of me, is it off to one side? It's all a bit squiffy, but I love it.
From here, so I'm sat on the passenger side, looking across at the clocks. For me, they're almost perfectly framed in the steering wheel because they are off to one side.
Yeah,
so
but for me, they're not. Go on, what have you just found? Will's just opened the glove box. Which
sometimes when you hear me chuckle to myself, well, I'm sort of like, I realised the glove box was quite difficult to open, so I didn't open this earlier when I tried. I've been a bit braver this time, and it's a bit tight. And I open it to find...
There's nothing in it. It goes straight through. So there hasn't been connected. There would have been a sort of pressed cardboard sort of backing to it, wouldn't there?
Cubby. Somewhere for your gloves.
Yeah, exactly.
I have found there is one safety feature on the car. It seems to have a roll cage for your knees.
Oh, it has, yeah. So it's above the firewall. The passenger side of the firewall is a sort of tube, a steel tube.
It looks like it goes down through the floor and hopefully attaches to the chassis.
Yeah, well, it's a major structural part of the car.
Yeah, it seems to be supporting the firewall halfway through. It's just about, when you're sat in the car, it's about halfway down my shin.
Yeah.
From front to back.
Well, that's reassuring, isn't it? I don't think this was the sort of car that you'd be looking to have an accident in, though, is it?
No, not with that petrol tank ready to spew petrol all over you every time you get crashed into.
I like it in here.
a lot of leg room in here.
Yeah.
Actually, my feet, if I stretch my legs out, I can only just
I'm
touch the far end.
I'm right at the end my legs are almost straight, and I'm on the pedals. It's nice. I like it.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels purposeful.
And the height of the
doesn't it?
windscreen for me feels kind of nice because you said earlier, like
Yeah.
if you're 6'2" or sort of, well, no, I think you said if you're 6 foot, you'd be looking over it.
Well, we're not far
Actually,
off.
we're neither of us are quite 6 foot, are we? But
No,
we're looking through the middle.
I'm
of the
not
screen.
quite 6 foot more than you're not quite 6
Yeah,
foot.
I'm a little bit,
Nearer to 6 foot.
little
than I
bit
am.
more, less far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, from 6 foot.
Yeah.
Quarter an inch shy.
Exactly.
Of 6 foot.
This steering wheel with these, I mean, Morris used to do it, Land Rover used to do it, the sort of chrome spaghetti spokes. You wouldn't want to put a lot of pressure on it, would you?
Feels quite flimsy.
It feels quite flimsy, yeah.
So
I like a big wheel, but I like it solid.
Yeah, it's got to be better than that. So the rims of these wheels would often be made from a material called ebonite, which is...
Is that what a sort of...
It is rubber,
Is it?
but yeah, it's classed as a rubber.
Is it really?
Yeah, I know,
Wow.
it feels and looks like plastic.
Yeah.
But it is a very, very hard...
Sort of looks like
durable rubber.
Bakelite, doesn't it? That's what it looks like, but it's not.
I wonder if the "ite" part of it has got anything to do with the manufacturer.
I bet it has, yeah.
It's often in the words, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
No, joking aside, I mean, that's...
what's it called?
Ebonite.
Ebonite, that's
So
interesting.
it looks like ebony.
Yes.
Um,
And it might,
Sorry, 'cause Bakelite
might
doesn't-
be. It might be. Oh,
It
it's
might
not.
be, yeah. Which we all clearly know it's not.
So access is fantastic. You get your
That's-
knees right round, even for an old giffer like me. Access is
That's not bad, is it?
no, it's really good.
Because you think, really, the age of people that would be owning a car of this nature.
Now,
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be us. It would
This
be
is
the
going-
generation older than us.
this is going through your theory, which I think is sound, of generational owning cars that they wanted when they were kids.
That's it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Exactly.
And I think you're right.
So
I think
in the
you're right.
1950s, so that's 70 years ago now,
Yeah,
so you'd have to be in your 90s
yeah.
to be wanting to razz around in one of these.
Now.
Because it was the car that you liked when you were a youngster.
Yeah, that's not quite as sound, that bit of the theory, is it? 'Cause-
No, it's not, because that would hit the potential buyers of this if we were to buy it and try and move it on.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, people of our age,
It's an interesting conundrum. It's a fantastic car. I love it. But
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure about the market for it. It's very specialised now, isn't it?
it really is very, very specialised.
Yeah.
And there's so many other issues that go with that.
Yeah,
Should we?
also, but you've got the other issue, haven't you, of if you want to sell something like this,
Mm-hmm.
the people who are going to buy it will be people who want to work on it.
Yes.
And if they want to work on it, they want to buy one, not that's done up and
Yeah.
beautiful and in beautiful condition.
It's very true. And
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that's entirely possible.
so restoring a car like this is so very expensive because, well, there's limited parts available.
Are there? I don't know. I've never looked. Are there?
Yeah, so
MG body parts and that. You mean?
body parts
Yeah,
and bits and
okay,
pieces.
yeah,
General bits and pieces. So that means you literally have to restore everything.
Yeah.
And this one I think is quite lucky because it's actually relatively rot-free by the looks of it.
Looks solid, doesn't it? I have
We need
say,
to
yeah.
get underneath and see what the underside looks like.
Yeah.
But what I've found when restoring cars like this is like everything you go to needs a lot of work. Not just a clean up and a paint.
No, because you've got to bring the whole thing up
Yeah.
to that level.
Yes.
If you're going to get top money for it, and we know that, well, from what you were saying, top money isn't actually
It's not even that good.
not that good.
No,
anymore,
the markets, I mean, you know, we're sort of saying it's a pity that the market has dropped from that 22 down to the sort of 16, 17.
Yeah.
And this car, well, we didn't talk about how much it was up for sale for, did we?
Oh, no, you didn't say.
No. I was hoping you might guess it, but
Oh, okay. So you're saying now that the top money one, I said 20, you said it's more
Yeah.
like 16 now.
Yeah.
So this would be 6, 7, maybe?
yeah, you bang on the money.
Is it?
Yeah, I think he was looking for as close to 7 as possible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Be a
So-
great car, wouldn't it?
Well, it would be a great car. You know, at £7,000.
Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah.
I would keep it as is,
Yeah.
and I would enjoy my £7,000 car.
Yeah.
Because for me, it doesn't need to be shiny.
No, me neither.
And yeah, I mean, we're both sort of such a similar sort of school of thoughts. You know, you can spend so much time playing with this.
Yeah, Yeah, you'd make it.
Yeah.
You'd make it. It's like with my bikes. You make it so that it runs brilliant, it drives brilliantly,
Yeah.
it's reliable. You do all those things, and that's where the pride comes from, doesn't it? Make it yours.
Yeah, make it yours, and always on your list. Which is the list never gets any shorter, because the last time you took it out, oh, there's that new thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That funny little thing is just developed.
Yes, yeah.
And I now need to find a specialist speedometer cable manufacturer.
Yeah.
To now make me a new one, or to supply me a new centre for this one, because the speedo stopped working.
Yeah, something.
There's always something.
Shall we have a little break and then have a look underneath it?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Good idea. All right.
So back with our MGTD.
MGTD.
With a lot of extra red paint on it.
Yeah, yeah. The Go Faster paint, which we presume might possibly have happened when it went to the States, because they had a holiday in the States, didn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So it's been blitzed and glammed by the Americans, and a fair bit of polishing and chroming's gone on here and there.
Chroming. And we haven't mentioned that this is a 1250, is it? 1250 engine.
And with a blistering 57 horsepower.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's a four-cylinder 1250 engine.
0 to 60.
Did it do it? Did it do 60?
Yeah, well, I think it would do 60 downhill. I think it was so long, it would take a long time for me to get to the number. So I'm going to skip that, because I can't actually remember
what it is.
Let me say, it's well in excess of 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what this car's about, is it? This car's about being... You know, the wind's in your hair. I know, I haven't got any hair. But, you know, that sort of thing, isn't it?
It would have felt faster than it was.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, look at the diameter of the wheels.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a lot of wheel there, a lot of larger diameter, so it would have absorbed the bumps quite well.
Are they 15 inch?
The suspension on the front is...
Hang on, we're going under. Shall we go under? Come on, let's have a look.
Look at that suspension.
Well, I think I know, because I know from my days on different classic car magazines, that this had independent front suspension. It was the first of the T's that had it, wasn't it?
Really? Okay, was it? I didn't know that. But that's twin wishbone.
Yep.
And I think we're probably looking at an elbow damper as the top wishbone.
I can't see. Are we?
Yeah.
Well, there's
we are.
Yeah, we
are.
Yeah.
Twin piston, elbow damper on the top.
Yeah.
And then a A-frame lower wishbone with a coil spring in it going onto the front suspension mounts with kingpin steering.
Yeah. Yeah.
And looking into the back of the front brake plates, it's twin cylinder, so you'd have...
So it's twin leading shoe.
Yes, exactly. Leading shoes. There's grease points on the steering ball joints. So
for some proper maintenance.
Yeah.
And steering, grease joints on the kingpin as well.
There'll be a lot of rubber mounts on the inside of the lower wishbones. So
it was a quite sophisticated setup for the day, wasn't it?
For 1953, that would have been state of the art.
Yeah, that's.
And you'd have taken this off down to the village green in the afternoon. You'd have had a warm glass of beer, and your mates would be lying on the ground in their tweed jackets,
having a look at that.
Having a look at your state of the art suspension. That's what would have been happening in 53.
For 1953, this has got sophisticated front suspension. They were very pleased about that. This is the first of these midgets with independent front suspension, which would have been
groundbreaking. And doing away with the beam axle, you've got something which got some nice compliance on the road.
Yeah, and it's got a rack and pinion steering. It's got a proper modern steering, and I think it was the first one.
That was new as well.
I think it was, yeah. I think it was.
You've got large diameter steel press wheels. These are with 165 15-inch 165s on a 15-inch rim. So that's a tall wheel.
It's a lot of tyre as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just lying on my side and looking at the chassis, around about the gearbox area.
Yeah.
And seeing that engine's got a ginormous aluminium finned sump on it. Look at that.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Isn't it?
That really is nice, isn't it?
Yeah. It does hang a little bit lower than that front suspension.
It is the first thing that's going to hit the ground, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Aluminium being a bit more shattery than denty steel.
Yes, massive, great chassis, isn't it? All the way back.
Huge C-section chassis with long distance.
Is it C? How do you know it's C-section?
I can't. Behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's OSC unboxed.
It is boxed, I think.
boxed.
It's boxed, but it's got a lip.
It's got a lip.
And the
yes.
lip is where they're running the brake pipes down,
Yeah.
which is quite clever.
And on this side, I'm on the passenger side, I've got the wire. Oh, it's falling off.
Don't pick, William.
No, I didn't do that. I found the clip. I'm going to pop it back in there because it's not.
But it's in very good nick, isn't it? And someone's clearly cleaned that up and painted it as well.
Yeah, the chassis looks like it's
Yeah.
had a lot of loving.
Yeah. I love the simplicity of a box section frame with outriggers and everything is then bolted.
Oh, I just noticed something.
Don't pick it.
See this? I'm trying not to.
It's interesting, that ash frame thing, isn't it? Because obviously certain companies, Morgan's did it up until quite recently, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the back of the wooden Morris Minors were ash as well, weren't they? Has the property.
It kind of harks back to the old days of coach build stuff.
Yeah, but ash in
Yeah,
particular has that property, doesn't it? Has the spring enough and the rigidity.
Yeah, it's one of the most springy woods that we know of. It's readily available. It's easy to work with. The thing that always gets me about ash is it's a really, really, really poor exterior wood. So you'd never make your front door or your window frames for your house
And everything
out
eats,
of ash.
Everything eats it as well.
And everything loves to eat it. It loves to go rotten.
Yes.
And why it was ever used on Morris Minors on the externally, like, heaven only knows.
idea.
And in the confines of the bodywork of the car, it kind of just gets away with it. But I've had to cut so much of its outer bodies in the past.
What, because it is
repair.
rotted?
It just goes rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it has any access to moisture,
Water. Yeah.
it goes horribly wrong very quickly.
Yeah.
If it's kept dry, it's great. Look at that axle, though, Gus.
I know.
Look, that's a construction, isn't it?
Yeah, it's special,
What
isn't
a big thing. So, I mean, there was a term that was used, that's always been used for things like Reliance axles, where you've got this sort of what looks like a banjo casing.
Yes.
Well, this
This
has...
is the opposite.
Is there a ring of bolts on your side, or does your axle tube go into that casing?
Goes into the casing, and the casing isn't bolted
so
on.
this side, there's a big ring of bolts.
Oh, okay.
Where the casing comes away, and you'd access the ground wheel and differential going through the side rather than the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it? So I think if we wanted to sum this car up...
Yeah, we're at that stage, aren't we? I think we both think it's a similar thing.
Well, I think underneath it's fantastic. And I think that with relatively little work on the top here, you could make it look like something else, but it would be... It wouldn't be as honest as it is now. I love it like it is. I would struggle, I think, doing that to it.
Yeah.
Although the underneath warrants it, doesn't it?
Simple sums are this. The underneath is very tidy, but it's a little bit DIY, so it could do with making it look a lot more professional. So if you were doing that, then that's a lot more of a strip down. I think you wouldn't make any money on this car.
I don't think you would either.
If you were trying to make it look like, you know, your top dollar car.
It's not going to be that.
The value of it isn't enough to warrant the amount of work it would take to do it.
No.
But
that's the sliding scale of doing up classic cars, isn't it? That's exactly it right there.
Rarely are they worth it.
Yeah.
They will normally cost you more than they have the capability of being worth.
But if you had the money to buy this and have it in the barn, to take it out whenever, you know, it would be great, wouldn't it?
As is.
Yeah.
This is a great everyday car.
Absolutely.
This car looks like it's in good enough condition to jump in, razz about every single day of the summer, apart from the days when you're tinkering, which will be every other day.
So there you have it.
There you go. That's our synopsis on this one.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. So we're going to call it a day there. We'll be back. We still want people to get in touch. If you've got a car that you want us to have a look at, we travel, don't we?
We do. It's going to be our Flipping Bangers tours.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, thank you for listening once again. It's been a real pleasure.
Till next time.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
The Flipping Bangers podcast features Gus Gregory and Will Trickett, is produced by Dan Allam and is a Just Mike TV production. International copyright is asserted. All opinions are personally held. Audio engineering is by Stephen O'Toole. We've used a sample of music composed by Tatimi and Lenny B at Upbeat. If you'd like to get in touch, please visit justmike.tv or chat to us via Instagram at Flipping Bangers. Thanks for listening.